Hello everybody, so here's the explanation video for the store. Well, I showed that copy over there, but meh. So I'll just be going over the basic stuff that we used in the store. And yeah, so firstly, as you can see, it's short, 3 high. Yeah, these blocks can be whatever, literally whatever. You do this, I don't really care. These 4 barrier blocks, these look uncontained, but we tested it, they're contained. Just some slight budding concerns, but they're fine. These blocks, I think it's this 5x5 here, are get pushed up and down. I don't think that counts towards the floor because they're not in the wall, and they can be literally whatever block. It doesn't matter if they're obsidian or anything, cauldrons even, doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, just wanted to point that out before we get onto the main circuitry. So our layout, we could just store rows of pistons here, here, and here, and then this piston is only used to make sure that these blocks are turned back down. So we have a double down here, and then pistons, we'll have storage blocks here, as you saw in the showcase. They'll slide in and replace those. Nothing too special. What else is there? Yeah, so that's, I guess, it for the main choices for our layout. We just have a worm here, this sort of standard worm, the observers and whatnot. We also have this little hidden double here, so a 4-tick torch, this double with the torches, and then we also reuse these observers with the 0-tick slider. So slider here, over there, updater, whatever. We actually do need the updater to be in a somewhat specific spot because when you do 0-tick slider and it buds, you have to make sure that all the pistons update, and the way we do that is by having updater here to update them all, and then let me just do this. Then you have this, so when we power this and then this 1 tick later, which I can just do real quick. Also ignore chat, synergy chat TM. So if we were to 1-tick this, that didn't work because this is meant to be this. My bad. Really? Why is this being annoying? This is exactly why it's painful. Let me check the timings that we have here. Oh, this has to be... Okay, I'm just gonna rebuild what we have down there. Because lazy. This is just basically me being... I don't exactly remember the timings, so I'm just gonna copy said timings. Block here. Yeah, you do have blocks here. Whatever. Also have this. Block, dust, repeater, dust. Then this is a 1-tick here. This should. There we go. Oh, there's a TPS. But basically this powers, then this updates apparently after the observers arrive and start powering stuff, because sub-tick timings, and then when we have this piston power, all of these will power, and then this will power, and then this will push back, which is important because if we were just to have the updater here instead, for example, only this first one would power, as you can see. So that's why we need all that. Otherwise, we'd have to have for example, if we had something like this instead, this would now power, I think, exactly half of them, which so 1, 2, 3 pistons powered. So this just makes sure that everything powers. What else is there? So here's our ROM, just extrapolated out. So here's our ROM. We just have ob spam on top because decoders. So as you can see, yes, test carts in cauldrons. It's amazing. So basically we have our input being this piston, but actually this OBS chain line, which will power this piston for a short amount of time, taking one shulker box, well, what would be one shulker box out into here, and then it'll dispense it out, and then we'll get a signal through here and then onto the red coder, and then it'll keep doing that until we run out, and then this will like power. I'll show it in a second, and then yeah. So I think we just have dummy pulses. So the way we get our delay for waiting for the closing on the opening is just by having dummy pulses. So here we have the one item's taken out. We got the items, in the hopper here. My internet's bad because I'm currently uploading the showcase right now. As you can see, we got a pulse out, and then we can keep doing that. We one tick the piston out to block this from powering, and then once all the boxes are gone, then that piston will stop powering, and then it'll eventually be able to power this piston, and then everything else will cycle, and everything's good. As you can see, we're getting, I'll just do this. Different signal strengths here. It's 4, I think. It's 11. 8. I'll see if I can show you, but yeah, as you saw, I don't know if you saw for like that 3 game tick window. I can't get into it right now, but you can see like it'll dispense, and then when the item's here, it'll turn this off, and then the second pulse from this spamming will dispense the shulker, and we get exactly a 3 tick pulse, which is important for I think one of the red coders, that we get a specific length pulse or else everything breaks. But yeah, this is exactly 3 RST or 6 game tick pulse, which is nice because yeah, as I mentioned, one of the red coders breaks if it gets a longer pulse for whatever reason. So yeah, it's getting near its end of the box. And we control all of these pulses by just like a web timer and all that fun stuff. 2 more. 1, 2, and now we'll have a dummy pulse, which does a whole lot of nothing, but this will retract, that extends, then we detect this sliding over, and then we power those 2 pistons once more, and that realigns everything, and now we double pulse this piston to prime it for the next box. Boom. So with that explained, we had different ideas for shulker ROMs, but then turned to this because it worked somehow. It originally was actually just 6, or I guess 4 minecarts in a loop, so I think we had something like this, where we had this, this, and this, so this, there we go, this, we had something like this, and this somehow worked for like 2 seconds, but then we ran into reliability issues when cycling the carts, and also limited storage, so then we just turned to this. We also had this idea for a red coder, but then decided we don't have space for that, so we just decided it was a good idea to basically stretch our red coder through like this area on top of the ROM. We have a red coder here, I'm just trying to remember where some of this stuff is. We also have the bits here. We also have a closing slider, but I'll get to that in a second. Through here, we also get here, and all this layer is red coder. So as you can see, we spread this out into all this. Nothing too crazy for what you'll see. And then obviously we're just like, we just have a slider here. We power this with the single strength ROM, goes up through here, into here. We get a signal from that dust, and then the piston, and then it just goes through here, powering storage, and then a DP. So there's not too much involved in the door. It's mainly just being able to cram a red coder in all the available space that we had. Why did this break? So here's how we just programmed our ROM. So like each colored choker box is like, yeah, this sort of like went into a specific move. So like single strength 2 turned like spat out the pistons. Like 6 did storage or whatever, and then we just like clicked note blocks to program the ROM. I don't really know what else to say. I kind of explained everything. If you have any other questions, just leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. A big thank you to Glassbricks, who I also was fortunate enough to work on this project with, because I definitely could not have, I just did not have the brain power to possibly like make sure the single strengths were right for like all the specific moves. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.